The MobTube Chronicles 1 and the MobTube Chronicles 2 are on Amazon and on Amazon Kindle now. Please be sure to get your copies today.
Hello, good evening, everybody. So today I'm doing something a little different. We're going to revisit Foodie Beauty Chantal Marie Thoreau. Now, it's been, I want to say, a couple of years since I caught up with her on stream. Part of the reason is because she must have at least 20 reaction channels that actually react to her. A lot of them are really funny. One of my favorites actually is the YouTube Underground, Yabba and Sam. But there's some really good ones, Just Sayin, Piggy, Barbecue Chillin', Pulpy Syntax. All these channels are reacting to Chantal. But for those of you, I'm going to put this on my MobTube channel. For those of you that don't know anything about Foodie Beauty Chantal, and just bring you up to date what happened from my last video, which is on my Just Josie channel. Now, my last videos covered when Chantal had got out of she calls it an abusive relationship. I don't know. It's really hard to tell with her. But I mean, the guy definitely was abusive. I absolutely believe that and believe her as far as that was concerned. But there was a lot to it. It was very complicated. He had her on certain medicine that she shouldn't have been taking. You know, she was a hot mess, but she's always had a problem as far as fast food, that type of thing. And so she's kind of struggled with that her whole life. Anyway, the last video I did, she was getting ready to go to Kuwait. So what had happened when she'd broken up with the last boyfriend, she got on worldwide Tinder and met Salah. This is Salah. Now, this was kind of crazy because she got on worldwide Tinder. Within 2 weeks, he'd asked her to marry him. And I want to say within a month, she was getting ready to go to Kuwait to marry this man. I mean, where do they do that at? Where do they do that at? I mean, I know, you know, my father is Muslim, and so I know they marry very quickly. But this was insane. I personally am not Muslim. I'm half Irish, half African. My dad's from the Gambia, West Africa, and they're Muslim there. My mother raised us Roman Catholic, and he didn't force his religion on us. And so my knowledge of Islam is minimal, you know, only from what I saw with my uncles and my father. I know they marry very quickly, but, you know, and they marry by proxy. They marry over the phone. But this was, everybody advised her against it simply because this man was trying to get a visa into Canada. He had tried before and was denied. And everybody felt he was using her to get into Canada and for her money, because at this time she had a fairly big channel. She was making like 20 grand a month on her channel. And the majority of that was wasted on food. This was Chantal when we first kind of saw her. She's been on YouTube roughly about 10 years. when we first saw her, she was with Bibi, and Bibi was from the Senegal, also a Muslim. She has a type, and I think her favorite types are Arabs. But when I first came across her, like I said in my previous videos, I came across her. I was looking at cooking channels, and she popped up on my thing, and I watched her and just was fascinated, not only, by the amounts of food she was eating, but just her lifestyle in general. She basically videos her whole life and puts it on YouTube. Anyway, this is Foodie in the beginning. And here, even though, yes, she's, obese, but she looks quite pretty here. I always thought she was very pretty. I did. That's changed now. I mean, you wouldn't really. This is night and day to what she looks like now. But this is what she looked like in the very beginning. Then when she moved to the villa, she put on more weight. Continued with this eating, just eating, and gaining more weight. Anyway, so next thing you know, you turn around, she's in Kuwait with Salah. Now, she had basically given Salah a come up because he was living in some pokey apartment, and they did have quite a nice apartment. It's on my other video on the Just Josie channel, overlooking the ocean. It was a nice apartment. They got a cat, Julia. Again, the cat, there was a problem with another of her cats. She's had several cats, and she gave up two of the cats. One of them, BBJ, who she'd had him for years, 20 odd years, and Sam. But that's a whole nother story. If anyone wants to know about that, that's also on the other channel. A lot of the reaction channels have covered that awful story. They get a cat, they get a hamster. People were expecting to really kind of see Kuwait. They didn't really get to do that a lot of the time. Basically, Chantal ate her way through Kuwait. Strangely, though, and I didn't even realize this, how many fast food places there are in Kuwait. It's I mean, there are a lot in America, but in England, but Kuwait is equal to that. I mean, they have so many fast food places, Hardee's, all the same ones as America, really. And that's what she was doing basically day in, day out. She would lay on the couch, she'd call it ceiling, and just basically eat and eat and eat. People were wondering, people question, were there people in her chat that were paying her to do this? Yes, there were. There were times where she would ask for money to be able to go out to dinner and whatever. But one thing I will say for Salah, he did try to kind of help her. He bought her a treadmill that she got on it a few times, walked a little bit, that was it. He tried to encourage her to go out, walk the beach, because the beach was across the street. I would have been there every day. But, well, maybe not, because there you had to wear the whole jihad and abaya and all that stuff. So probably I wouldn't have been on there. But, yeah, and it is very, very hot in Kuwait. So a lot of the time she could barely breathe. She couldn't walk really too far. although her mobility was a lot better when she first got to Kuwait, but it slowly went downhill. And I said, even on my other videos, she was using her CPAP machine as oxygen. This was 3 years ago, and she's still doing that. Her breathing is atrocious right now. Her health has seriously declined because of all the fast food, the sodium, the fat, I mean, oh my God. And it just seems to have gotten worse. Anyway, whilst in Kuwait, she did go back to Canada. I believe the first time she went back to Canada, pictures appeared on the internet of Salah in some sort of red room laying in bed with a woman. I'm not quite sure what happened there, whether she got on him about that. I'm sure she did. They called it the red room. She came back, life went on as normal, laying around, eating, not wanting to go anywhere. And you could see the frustration in Salah, even though everybody felt the same way as far as he goes, that he was just using her. He wanted to get to Canada, and her money, her YouTube money, went a long way in Kuwait. As soon as she got there, they got the apartment, they bought a new car. He was, living his best life, essentially. But he would go out a lot. She apparently, people say that she put money into a perfume business that he had that went absolutely nowhere. And she would say he was working, that he had a business, but he was either always in the house when she live streamed, or if he wasn't in the house, wherever he was, he would be in her chat. So if he's working, like, for example, she would say, they would ask, where's Salah? Oh, he's in a business meeting. But then he was in her chat. So I don't believe he was working at all. In any event, what happened is life went on as normal. She went back to Canada, and I don't think she had been there possibly a week when Kybella was trolling Salah, and she had got some incriminating pictures of him in the bath, his feet, voicemails of him saying that he wanted to do disgusting things to her. He wanted her to lick the toilet with her tongue. He wanted to poop on her. All kinds of degenerate stuff. And she put them up while Chantal was in Canada. Well, of course, Chantal sees it and throws a fit. That's on my channel, and it's on all the reaction channels if you want to see that. It was terrible. It was bad. And oh my God. And within an hour, though, she had like a complete meltdown in her car. Within about an hour, she had forgiven him and flew straight back to Canada. Originally, she had gone to Canada to take care of her health. She has out of control, raging type 2 diabetes. What she's eating is just making things worse. While in Kuwait, she was constantly sick, boils on her, nunny. Oh, pooping. Sorry. Excuse me just a second. I'm sorry. Oh, God. Pooping her pants. Every 2 minutes she was in the emergency room. There was always an ailment. Her breathing was awful, even to get up from the couch to go to the kitchen. And she would go to the doctor, get medicine. In fact, at one point they put her on insulin, which is just, my God, that could have been avoided. But she was using by taking the insulin, then she's thinking, okay, well, the insulin is going to balance out whatever I eat, which isn't the case. Yeah, she was sick quite a bit. In any event, several things happened. They got kicked out of Kuwait eventually. One of the main reasons was, I think, before Chantal went to Kuwait, she didn't do any research. She didn't know what being a Muslim really meant. She really knew nothing about the religion. She basically threw on the jihad and the abaya and said, "Oh, I'm a Muslim." I do believe Salah bought her a Quran, which she didn't read. She read a little bit of it, but I think it was beyond her comprehension, to be honest. And so, she was accused of cosplaying and whatever, and I believe so. A lot of the reason, which she did admit later, was Salah wanted her to wear the abaya because she has like 3 chins, and the abaya, it covered, you could put it like so you can't see your chin. And not just that, he wanted his wife to wear a jihad, which she had been fat or thin anyway, because that's what he wanted. However, in Chantal's case, occasionally, it would constantly, the abaya would, not the abaya, the jihad would slip, and if her chin poked out a little bit, he'd tell her, cover your chin, and, if a little bit of hair poked out, cover your hair, that type of thing. And she did admit later she wore it for him, mainly, and to cover her chins, and to cover it, because her face is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And at times she literally looked like a condom. Certain colors she wore, or like a baby when it's coming out of the birth canal. It was horrendous. And I did do a video on it, and I simply said, she could have had like a little business there. She's good at drawing, or kind of, or art or whatever, and she could have made beautiful abayas and put stuff on them, and jihad, jihad. Anyway, they basically got kicked out of Kuwait as well because Chantal could not control her mouth. She didn't do any research. You cannot carry on swearing and gluttony and that type of thing in those countries. Eventually, something's going to give. She's very, very lucky to have gotten out of Kuwait alive. Well, not so much alive, not that they necessarily would have killed her, but she's lucky she got out when she did, or she would probably be in a Kuwaiti prison now, right along with Salah. Because what had happened is they had the cat Julia. Again, she wasn't taken care of in the correct way. I mean, they fed her. She looked healthy enough, but she went into heat, and the cat was crying, and people were telling her, get the cat fixed, get the cat fixed, get the cat fixed. It took forever and a day to get this cat fixed, and they finally took her. Now, I don't have cats. I have had dogs. I have a girl dog now. I had her fixed at 6 months. And actually, I expected when I went to pick her up to have to carry her. But no, I think they did it microscopically. It was great. She was bouncing around like nothing happened. However, with Julia, they did an incision, and they were supposed to keep the collar on her. Chantal wouldn't do that. Salah, to his credit, They got in a big fight on stream over this. He would tell Chantal to put the collar on the cat, and obviously she didn't. The wound got infected and opened up, so they had to take her back, and it took a minute for Julia to recover, which was really it was pissing everybody off because it was all unnecessary. Had you to followed the vet's instructions. Anyway, I digress. So she decides she wants another cat. Now, there's a lot of cats roaming around Kuwait. There are hundreds of them. They go to a park and she sees a kitten. Now, she picks up this kitten. Now, in Kuwait, you are not allowed to take cats in off the street. People believe Julia was picked up off the street also, but Chantal says she wasn't. They got her from a person, but you're not allowed to go. They went to a park, and there's a million cats. They're eating chicken, so the cats are all coming around. And Chantal, to her credit, she would try and go out. She bought cat food and she would feed the cats. And but this particular park was a different one that they normally go to, and there was a little kitten. And now this kitten hadn't finished suckling with the mother, but Chantal didn't care about that. She wanted this cat. I believe they named him Bruce Lee. Anyway, they take the cat, and everybody on YouTube, that were keeping up with the retractors, the excuse me, the retractors, people just watching, called Kuwait. They called Paws of Kuwait and reported us. So Chantal is, people say she has a defiance disorder, and I think that's a huge possibility, but she refused to give this cat up. They took it to some backstreet vet. I don't even think it really was a vet, and she tried to claim that the cat was going to die had she not picked this cat up. But the cat was still suckling, so the mother was around somewhere. But according to Chantal, they couldn't see the mother of this cat. Anyway, I'm going to share a video with you. This video is Chantal leaving, getting back. What happened? They took the cat to a backstreet vet. They bring the cat to her house, and there was someone there waiting for them. She says in a Rolls Royce. Now, this video is by Just Saying. I will be putting her channel description, her link to her channel in the description. She does some really good work. She has been quite ill. I hope you're feeling better, Just Saying. I like your channel. I watch your videos, and I hope you don't mind me sharing this. This is when what had happened is when they got back to their place, there was a guy, she said, in a Rolls Royce, got out and told them to take the cat back. According to her, she was, mouthing off. And eventually, Salah said, no, we've got to take the cat back. She really didn't want to take the cat back. So they go back to the park. And would you believe there's the cat's mother waiting for the cat? Oh, my God. Anyway, so they get back to the apartment. And the thing with Chantal is she thinks the laws of other countries, the rules, doesn't matter where she is, they don't apply to her. So I'm going to share this. This is when she gets back to the apartment. Hang on, let me see. Let's see. Yep. Okay, this is when she gets back to the apartment. And she's basically got to flee Kuwait. Now, I didn't start it at the very beginning. Let's see where we're at with it. Hang on.
Set up a cat sanctuary. Yeah, we really have the means for that. I don't really want to go into what happened with the whole situation of how we were advised that it was in our best interest to return the cat. But that's what happened, yeah. That's the truth. Yeah, if I left the cat, they would be like, you're so horrible. But, yeah. I mean, I don't know. You had to quit a job with working with animals. It's so awful, I know. Honestly, it's so like, oh yeah, come see Mom. She's a good girl. You want to see her? Hi, baby. Baby. You're so cute. We played chase earlier a little bit. I love it. I'm so out of shape, but I will play chase with her around the apartment because. Thank you, Nicole. Sorry for my pimple. It's when I'm nervous. I don't know. I just feel off right now. She's ready to play pounce. Like what we do is like, I know when she's like hyper and she'll come up to me and go, ee! And then I'll get up and go, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get this baby. I'm going to get this baby. Nothing. Curved. Why is it curved? I didn't intend to curve it, but I just don't know how to do winged eyeliner very well. Stay chic. Stay chic. It better be important, strawberries. I don't see it. I don't think it went through strawberries.
Now, just to kind of let you know, this is where she started this dream off kind of normally, and this is where she finds out that Paws of Kuwait have actually gone to the police, or they've gotten, they're going to take them to court. They're getting the paperwork ready. One of the Beezers, she calls them Beezers, had found this out and was informing her right here, because up until then, she didn't think anything was going to happen to her.
Thanks, Liz. She's a Chihuahua. Sanitary cut, exactly. I'm tired of, Hey, SA. They rescued Bruce and his... Who did? What? Who? I didn't see her comment. Pause Kuwait just uploaded up. No, wait, let me check. Okay. So, I guess they're being rescued. They've been rescued. But I feel like haters probably like bombarded them too. And now they're like, we're not accepting. There's like this big drama post.
See, part of the problem here as well, Chantal was asking for donations in order to feed this cat. So when Paws of Kuwait, when they took the cat back, Paws of Kuwait went to the park, rounded up the cats, checked them out, and that's what they were saying. Paws of Kuwait put up a post, I believe, on Twitter and YouTube. I'm not sure, totally which, but anyway.
We are dealing legally with people asking for illegal donations for the cat. Like, what? I hope they're not referring to me because I did not do that whatsoever. Like, what? Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I'm getting in shit. I bet you I'm going to get in crap for trying to be nice and help them. If it weren't for me, they even use my pictures on their page. Yes, they're harassing everybody. They're not suing me because I'm not paying a dime. Like, I need to get out of this country, man. Like, insane. Which country villainizes people for trying to help? Like, what? Like, yeah, they use my pictures that I sent them initially, and then go check out the post. It's like, I'm gonna go get it. I'm not getting off. Don't tell me to get off. Of course, Nicole, you got dogs. Of course. These are the people who say that we're bad people. Do you see what I mean? Do you see how they are? How is it illegal, like, for me to take the cat and people said they would help with money to bring him to the vet, but it's okay for that organization to ask for donations? Like, what? Shut up, Selena. I'm not mad they got rescued. Like, I seriously need to get out of here. I can't. I don't know. Dogs to Nicole was the worst bullying. Yeah, but we're the bullies, right? We're the bullies. Okay. Yeah, someone probably sent messages saying I'm a scammer. Exactly. Yep. I use my platform to help. Good luck. Send the law after me. I'm getting out of here. Honestly, I'm not staying here. Nope. Canada bees for life. That's it. Because I'm not staying somewhere where I get in legal trouble for helping a kitten from dying. Like, no way. No.
Okay, so that's essentially what happened. The very next day, Chantal was on a flight out of Kuwait. Now, when this happened, I mean, I have to say, I was really concerned for her that they may come and pick her up before she managed to get out of there. But she booked a flight that night and got the hell up out of Dodge. Next thing we saw her, she was in Canada. Pause of Kuwait wrote several posts. They had paperwork ready to go. Then Salah also had to leave because not only it wasn't just the business with the cat. They were sent videos of what Salah had done with Kybella. You know, talking all that crap and the pornographic stuff. You know, that's not allowed in that country at all. Salah was looking at jail time too. So he had to get the hell up out of Dodge as well. Now, I think he left maybe a few days after her because obviously he had to take care of getting things out of the apartment, the house. So she winds up back in Canada and Salah ends up in Syria because that's where he's originally from. His parents are Syrian and they had moved to Kuwait when he was a baby. He'd grown up in Kuwait. But the thing about Kuwait is, no, I think was he born in Kuwait? I believe he was born in Kuwait. But the thing about Kuwait is, it doesn't matter how long you're there. If your parents are foreign and you're born there, I don't believe, you know, you're a Kuwaiti citizen. You're not. You're whatever your parents are. So he wasn't a Kuwaiti citizen. So he had to flee to his home country, which was Syria. Now he has a lot of family in Syria, but he'd been brought up in Kuwait, so he didn't really know Syria. And as we know, Syria is a war-torn third world country. So that's where I'm going to leave this off for now. I'll bring you up with the rest tomorrow. I'm going to bring you up to speed on where we are now, which is in 10 times worse. 10 times. Things got progressively worse. I just am flabbergasted. Right now, Chantal is back in Canada. Her health is atrocious, but we'll get into that. I wish she would just go to a doctor, have a set doctor, because what Chantal liked to do was to go to different doctors because they're all telling her the same thing. You know, they're telling her the same thing and she's not trying to hear it. So I think she's afraid to go to the doctor now because her health is really, really deteriorated. I'm really concerned for her as far as her breathing. Her breathing, she can't even get off the couch. And she's even started to do streams now with the CPAP strapped to her face. And the CPAP is not an oxygen tank. The CPAP is to help you sleep when you're asleep. It doesn't function as an oxygen tank. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So tomorrow, I'll catch you up on what happened when she got back to Canada, and Salah had to flee to Syria. Anyway, take care, everybody, for now. Bye-bye.